Hey y'all, welcome to the channel. It's Nick here. You can call me Mary or D. Just don't call me broke. Dang, yeah. So y'all, welcome to my channel. This is my first video on YouTube on this channel. Okay, well, not on YouTube, but on this channel. Okay, because I've done YouTube for a while, but this is my first new channel and this is my first video on this new channel. So normally, you know, we would start with the get to know me, who am I, that can come at a later date. We're just gonna jump right into the content. How about that? That's okay with you? Oh, okay. Anyway, so today, as you can see by the title, we are doing a April wrap up. Now I know this video is long overdue because today is the 9th or the 10th, one of those. But nonetheless, here we are. Okay, so I'm not gonna prolong this video. We're gonna get right into it. Okay, so we have read 13 books in April. Now I want y'all to know I had a struggling month, April, especially the latter part of April. Coming into May, I'm still struggling. I have not read any books for May. And y'all know I'm a book girly because I'm doing like 18 books a month and more. It's just I've been going through a lot. Let's just say that. But anyway, we're gonna get right into the video. If you see me looking down, it's because I'm looking at my iPad to remember and stay on track. Okay. So the first book that I read for April was Moth to a Flame by Ashley Antoinette. This book was it was a lot. It took you through all the emotions, if I must say so myself. Ashley Antoinette, is you cool? Like, what was you thinking when you was writing this book? This book was crazy. Like, this book is surrounded around a family, and the father is, you know, he over the streets or whatever. And so he's the head person over the streets. Like, you got to come through him. And he has a family. And, you know, you have Ethic as well that comes in. And we're learning more about their dynamic between each other, but also the dynamic between the father and his kids. So it starts off with that. And then we go into the life of what's her name, the daughter. It's not Morgan, it's, why can I not think of her name? Raven is her name. Raven is a wild one. Raven is crazy. Like, Raven did not abide by anything that her parents told her to do. She was one of those girls that was like, I have to figure it out for myself. You know, like when your parents say the stove is hot and you don't believe them, so you go touch the stove and you're burnt. And now they like, well, I told you. Yeah, Raven was that. Her dad told her not to deal with this particular guy that he knew was in the streets and he wasn't no good for her. And Raven went and did it anyway. And not to even give any spoilers or anything, but it got crazy, and it got crazy fast. If you have not read Moth to a Flame, go read it. This is the first book that you read before you go into Ethics series, and then you go into Butterfly. I've only read Moth to a Flame and Ethic 1. I actually had to go back because I read Butterfly first, and then I was like, oh, I didn't know. So I had to go back. So I'm working through Ethic. I'm about to read Ethic 2. And it's a lot. Anywho, if you have not read it, go read it because it was crazy. On to the next book. The next book is Only for One Night by Nick Mills. Nick Mills. Girl, you nasty. You is nasty, girl. This book was so nasty, so spicy, and y'all know I love me a good spicy book. It was so nasty, so spicy. So this book is surrounded around a married couple that's happily in marriage, but the lady of the marriage is wanting to explore something, but she don't know how her husband is going to take it, right? And so they have this one night where they have a game night with their other couple friend, and they kind of go down that road of, oh, what would you want to do with your friends, this, that, and the third. And she like, I mean, I'll do it if you want to do it. Like, what? So her birthday comes around and they go on this trip. Her and her husband and her friend and her husband. It got so spicy so quick. Child, they swap partners. They get into it. And it's because it's her birthday. So like, I'm gonna let you, her husband's like, I'm gonna let you have it for one night. I'm gonna let you do it for one night. Just so you can get it out of your system. And you can say that you can't say that you never got this opportunity, right? And so they get into it, swap partners at the dinner, go back to the room. Oh, it gets crazy from there. If you like a spicy book, and I mean, it's a novella, so it's on like, but it's less than 100 pages. If you want a good little something real smutty, yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's the one. Go read it. If you want a spice, you want a smut, go read it. You're going to have the time of your life. Okay? Moving on. Next book is a part of a series. I did start the series back in March. So the series is the Zoo Boys. And the book is The Streets and the Pulpit. Loving in My World is Never Easy. That is book 2 to the Zoo Boys Street Chaos. The person that this surrounds is, I don't know why, Preach. His name is Preach. And he's trying to find his way only because his mom is on that stuff and she in the streets, and her dad is the pastor. I mean, his dad is the pastor. So he's in the streets, but he know the word like the back of his hand, and he don't play about the word. He gonna pray, he gonna give you a scripture, and he gonna let you make your decision. But one thing he gonna do, he gonna pum. When he gotta get in the streets, he gonna get in the streets, and he don't care nothing about it. And he gonna pray for you afterwards. He gonna say, may your soul rest in peace. May you have prayed with your God before you got laid to rest. I said, oh, he don't care. He gonna pum you and go on by his business, baby. And hope that you made amends with God. I love it. I love it down. He also, and I'm trying not to get too much, but he also falls in love with this girl that is detrimental to his friends, the Zoo Boys, and their freedom. Do what you will with that information. If you have not read the Zoo Boys series, I highly recommend that you read the series. The series was good. It started off a little shaky for me because the first book was kind of like an opener, but it didn't give any type of like what was going to happen, what's going on. But I realized that she did that just to set the foundation so that you can read the other books of all the guys and then understand what's really going on. I haven't read Chevy yet, which is the last guy in the Zoo Boys and the last book of the series, but I'm on my way. I just want you to know I'm on my way because they do not care. Them Zoo Boys do not care. And I'm here for it. Okay? I am here for it. Continuing on with that same series, the third book of that series is Diamond Land. And if you know anything about Diamond, he gonna take you to Diamond Land quick. He don't never play around with these girls. He do not play around with these girls. Ooh, I'm gonna be taking them up through there and have no mercy. He'd be like, yeah, this was cool. You got to go though. Like, you're not staying here. If you, like I said, if you have not read the series, read the series. The guys are funny. They are hilarious. I chuckle a lot throughout these books. They was hilarious and they was not playing. They go 10 toes down behind they boys and they girls. You either with it or you not. Yeah, it gets crazy. It gets crazy with these guys. And I'm telling you, they don't play. They do not play. The biker gang, they don't play. So if you have not read Preach's book or Diamond's book, it is by Tatiana Timmons. Go read the Zoo Boys. They gonna have you over there having a good old little time. Okay? All right, on to the next book. The next book I read, which was my book club book of the month, was Creed by Nadia Ray. If I'm saying that correctly, I hope I'm saying it correctly. This book caught me off guard in a couple ways. I still gave it a 4 points. I gave it a 4 stars. The book started off kind of a bit much for me because I'm just like, I get the whole instant love part, but like they went too hard. They was kind of like they knew each other from a prior life and they never met each other a day in their life. And him being who he is, and her being who she is, it was kind of like y'all would never cross paths in real life if y'all didn't really like, he didn't have business here and you wasn't at a conference. So they ended up crossing paths in the elevator and it was just like the whole chemistry of, oh my gosh, like he's just, oh my God. Like, and I'm like, girl, calm down. You just met this guy. Like, you don't know nothing about him. He look good. I know a girl that can be like, oh, he look good. But she was just like drooling. He was having his own thoughts. And I'm just in here like, everybody slow down. Like, everybody slow down. It's going a little too fast for me. And I don't know how y'all get that much chemistry in 2.5 seconds. Huh? Anywho, it then follows their life. And we find out more about Creed and who he is and how, he's a part of this multi-million-dollar family. And his dad is running this ring of, I don't even know what to call them, like just people that don't deserve to be on this earth. You know what I'm saying? And so Creed's whole purpose was to unalive those people because they were doing things to children that was just not unethical, just nasty. It disturbed me a little bit while reading this book because I'm like, there's really people out here in this world that be doing that. And Creed put himself in charge of taking them all out. And I love that for him. I felt like it did have a lot of emotions trying to explain, or not even, like trying to explain why he was how he was. And it was mostly because of his dad. But I feel like I needed a little bit more about why. Like, his dad treated him a certain type of way, and it was only because he wanted him to be the head of his business, whenever he got older and things like that. But I just needed to know like the trauma. Like the trauma behind that, yes. But like it didn't give us in depth on why he was going through this mental war with himself. All in all, it was a good book. It was some sketchy parts in there, if I must say so myself. I'm sitting here like, huh? Our FMC, it's like she flipped the switch and she was gone. Like she was done for. It was like she was so timid at first, and then once her fiance started getting crazy and doing stuff to her, then she just flipped the switch, and it's like pew pew pow everybody. And I'm just like, girl, calm down. How we just flipped the switch like that? You was just so timid like 50 pages ago. Now all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, everybody got to go. Now I'm like, just relax, mama. Okay. Next 2 books was going back to the Zoo Boys. I had to finish out the series, or at least try to get as much of the series as I could get done this month. So it was Hood Shiesty. His name was Foe. Was that Foe? And the other one was Zootopia. Yeah, so Hood Shiesty's book is about Foe, and Zootopia was about Zoo. I feel like these books were okay. I liked Preach's book, and I like Diamond's book as well. Foe and Zoo's book kind of slowed down. It still gave the aspect of the Zoo Boys and how they ride for each other. And yeah, like they was cool. It was a lot of bickering going on and them fighting over a girl that was she was good for one of them, but they didn't know how to express how they felt about her to each other. Like it was almost like they was ruining the friendship over a girl. And while the other guys was kind of trying to tell them that y'all just need to talk it out and figure it out and not let this come over the business that we got to take care of, because we got to take care of these guys that's trying to take us out. We got clans and clans of people that's trying to take us out, and now we beefing between each other. We can't let that happen. So that's pretty much what their story was about. I think Foe ended up getting shot as well, and it just was it was kind of surface level for me. I still gave them both a 4-star, but it wasn't as intricate as the other books were to me. So like I said, you should read the Zoo Boys though. It's a really good series. It just kind of slowed down on those 2 books. I was just like, yeah, I was looking for the rah whole time, and it was kind of like they was just beefing between each other, which is normal. So yeah, those 2 books were book 4 and 5 of the Zoo Boys by Tiana Timmons. Next book on the agenda is She Gave Her All to the Hood's Finest 3. So I read 1 and 2 prior months, and then this was my first time getting back into that. Now this book surrounds that man is crazy. Like clinically, he has to be insane. He has to be insane because this man does not play. Oh, but at this point, he has a girlfriend, and I think at this point she might have been pregnant as well. And he did not play about her, but he was still like in the streets going crazy. Like, not that he had, at this point had stopped like having sex with other girls, because he was sleeping around on her at first. And then she was just like, yeah, I'm finna go. And they was just like beefing about that for a while. And he finally got it together and started acting like a human being. But this man still was in the streets acting crazy. This man don't care what he say to anybody. It can be your mama. He gonna say something crazy to her. Like, he had names for random people. Like any girl that would come up in the studio, he had something to say about him. Like, you stink. Did you brush your teeth? Your tongue is white. Like, is you cool? You talking to me with this stank breath? Yo, like, he didn't care what he said to any woman, but he was so soft with his woman. Like, she broke him down. And he was like, bro, you got me out here looking soft? And she like, I mean, you gotta be soft for me. Like, come on now. Like, but he knew how to turn it off and turn it on. Like, when his girl came around, that's the only thing he saw. When she wasn't around, this man was talking crazy to everybody. He did not care. Like, when I tell you this man did not care, this man did not care about nobody's feelings, spared nobody. It could have been your grandma. He don't care. He don't care. He gonna say what comes to his mind and dare you to say something back to him, because he gonna pum you. He ain't had no problem with trying to unalive people. He had no problem with doing that. Like, and I'm just seeing him like, this man is clinically, like, he can't be clinically okay up here. He missing a couple screws, something. He ain't right. He ain't right. And I think everybody know he ain't right. Even his girl know he ain't right. And I think he low-key turning her out to be crazy. Cause she was so like nonchalant. Oh, I ain't dealing with that. I'm leaving. Da da da. Now she dealing with the escapade. She in on it. She doing the craziness too. I'm like, girl. She fighting, slapping people. Da da da. I'm like, girl, he done turned you out. He done turned you out. It was so crazy. But yeah, I laugh so much at him because he is so funny. He is so funny. So yeah, if you want to read that book, the book is by Siobhan Latrice. And when I tell you that man is crazy, if you like an unhinged man, and I mean unhinged, don't care what he got going on, he gonna stop what he doing to cuss somebody out, shoot somebody, whatever it is. This the one. Go read that book. She gave her all to the Hood's Finest, that whole series. I think it may be like 5 books in that series. Go read it. He started off unhinged, but he gets more unhinged as time goes on. Yeah, go read it. Next book on the docket is Ethic. So I did mention Ethic earlier. Ethic is by Ashley Antoinette as well. And this just gives a little bit of backstory of why Ethic is who he is. And he ended up being a single father, still kind of in the streets, but not really. Like, he'll handle what he gotta handle, but he's basically raising kids, his own kid. And I don't want to put too much on Moth to a Flame or how it ends, but you know, his own kids and his girl's sister. And so, you know, he's trying to navigate the father life. Like, he already had a kid of his own, but like, you know, raising people that are teenagers or growing into teenagers, and you trying to get them on the right path, because you already know how the streets eat up and chew these girls down. And you know, it introduces Morgan in a different light as well, because in Moth to a Flame, she was younger. She was you know, didn't have much going on because, of course, she's a youngin'. So she's just doing what everybody tell her to do. But at this point, she is getting up in age. She's a teenager. She's about to turn 18. And she wilding just like her sister, Raven. Like, she's going down the wrong path. And Ethic sees that. He's trying to deter her from doing those things. And she's not listening. She's following Raven. And I feel like if she had been shown something different, it would have been, you know, a lot different. But because she was around Raven for the, you know, a lot of her life after, you know, losing her parents or whatever, it was kind of like, you had the wrong role model. You had the wrong role model. And she's kind of going down the same thing. And it's so sad because Ethic, it just seemed like he's getting loss after loss after loss. Like I haven't seen a win for him yet. And I'm like, dang, like my boy must have did something bad in the streets for him to be getting this type of karma. Like, and he was just at the point to where he was just like, he's losing all the people that he loved, and he just feel like he's not deserving of love. Now, as time goes on, you know, he learns a little bit about, you know, his life and who he is. And it's just sad. Like, the book is sad. I want to see Ethic in his winning stage. Like, I'm like, it's time for him to win. He's been loss after loss after loss. Like, this man can't catch a break. I'm like, God, when are we gonna see him in a better light? When are we gonna get something like, Ashley, Antoinette, she wrote him down. I'm so interested to get into Ethic 2. I'll be reading Ethic 2 this month, hopefully. And yeah, if you just got to take the ride. You got to take the ride. I hear that it could get better as time goes on, and I think it's like 5-6 books in this series as well. So I'm ready for us to get to the part to where he starts to win. So yeah, if you have not read Ethic, Moth to a Flame first and then Ethic, please go read it. It's such a sweet, but it's so hardcore. Like, it's gonna be hard, but you know, I'm gonna get into it though. I'm ready for Ethic 2, just to see where we're going from here. Cause okay, next book is She Gave Her All to the Hood's Finest 4. Same thing. IMMC Unhinged. If you like an unhinged man, please go read it. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. Please go read it, because this man gets crazier as time goes on. Okay. Next book is another book of my book club's book of the month. We have 2 books of the month. So the first one was Creed. The second one is Hostile Takeover. Hostile Takeover. I just want y'all to know, my book club, side note, my book club, they gonna rip a book apart. Okay? They are gonna rip a book apart, and I love it down, because that's what I feel like book clubs are for. To digest and really get other people's perspective on what was your thoughts on this book. So Hostile Takeover was by Christina C. Jones. The book is a true enemies to lovers. And I don't even know if we really got the lovers part. If I'm being very honest, like, it was a true enemies to enemies, because this book, it had me cackling, low key. But it was definitely like it was a forced marriage, and the FMC definitely was not going for it. She showed every ounce of, I don't like you. I don't know why I have to do this. And she kept questioning why. Maybe she can come up with a different way of how to get her business back. So the whole thing was her getting her business back because her dad sold the business and lost it to a multi-million-dollar company. And her only way to get her company back was to marry the multi-million-dollar boss and give him a baby, basically. And she was not going for it. She was trying to fight her way out of this one. And after she realized that, you know, this is the only way that you got to do it, she kind of just was like, all right, cool. Like, she marries him. And then the first spicy scene, she ate that one up. She ate that spicy scene up. But I felt like it just fell off. Like, there was no connection for real in the book. Like, they never really expounded on them learning each other. Like, after a while, and it wasn't until the end of the book that we really got that aspect. I was like, the whole book, they was kind of like beefing with each other. Like, you know, this is the only way that you got to do it. And she was like, all right, cool. Like, she marries him. And then the first spicy scene, she ate that one up. But I feel like it just fell off. Like, there was no connection for real in the book. Like, they never really expounded on them learning each other. Like, after a while, and it wasn't until the end of the book that we really got that aspect. I was like, the whole book, they was kind of like beefing with each other. Like, he didn't like what she was doing. She didn't like what he was doing. And he was trying to make her jealous. And she was just like, okay. Like, it is what it is. This is a business transaction. And when he started like having feelings and really being like, I don't want this to be a business transaction, I want this to be a lot more, she still was in her, I don't care, this is a business transaction. And I feel like he gave a little bit of effort. I feel like if we had started this a little bit earlier in the book, we would have got a little bit more love. But it wasn't until the very end of the book that we got an inkling of them possibly, being something more than just business partners. And well, not even business partners, but like this being a business transaction, and they actually starting to love on each other. Not to mention they had a whole baby. Right. That was in the contract, but she ended up being pregnant without even knowing. So it was, all in all, it was a good book. I gave it 4 stars. I just would have liked a little bit more of the love aspect. It was kind of like enemies to just enemies. Like, they didn't like each other. They was just going about their day. And we didn't get the love aspect until the very end of the book. If this was a series, I probably wouldn't have mind. But if this is a standalone, which I think it kind of is, it was kind of okay. It didn't give me the love aspect. I'm a lover, so like I always want to see the enemies. I love the enemies to lover. Like I like to see when that switch flips and it's kind of like, oh yeah, they in too deep now. But it never gave me that, which is kind of sad. But yeah, it was still good. It was still good. Still a good book. But yeah, so the next book is Dreaux, the Corporate Assassin by Nick Mills. Now, Nick Mills, I don't know what you're doing to these books, but you know how to write a good little book, okay? This was the 3rd book in the series. And this book surrounds Andre. So Andre was hilarious. Andre was so funny to me. This man did not care. When I tell you, an unhinged man that don't care, Andre was, I don't care. He's going to have sex with you and you got to go. He tells you from the beginning, there is nothing beyond this. This is nothing but sex. So if you feel like you're going to get something else out of this, you might want to go elsewhere because you're not going to get anything from me. Like, especially because he don't want to mix his business with his pleasures. He is an assassin. So if somebody knows that you are eligible to get touched, they gonna go through what they know that your weakness is. And if he have a girl, you gonna be the first one. And so he tries to keep that separate. Let me read one of one of the highlights of the book for me was when he said this girl was trying to take him on a date, quote unquote. Like, they was low-key talking, but not really. And he said, just so you know, I'm not a driving type of guy. He held my phone to my face to unlock it. If you want to get in these drawers, you gotta wine and dine me. You gonna have to spend a check, love. What? You gonna have to spend a check to get in these drawers? Is crazy. That's like a line that a woman would say, and hearing him say that, I'm like, is you cool? What are you talking about? Like, you gonna have to wine and dine me, love. Like, now, of course he was playing, but like, this man was unhinged. He did not care. This man, he also did not care about what he said to any woman, how he treated a woman. And if he had the pum you, he's an assassin. He had no problem doing so. It's like they had points where they was like, yeah, I need you to take care of this. He was like, all right, cool. You out having fun and you don't even know you have a bounty on your head. It's crazy. Yeah. Andre, he was hilarious. This man was never hesitant of giving a bullet to anybody. He had no intention of falling in love, but lo and behold, he ended up doing so, and ended up doing so with the op. And knowing the whole time and still doing it. Huh? I'm like, you knew and you still went for it? It's crazy. But yeah, he did. And if I must have sold myself, Andre probably was my favorite out of the series. He was hilarious and he did not care. And I love me an unhinged man. If you don't know by now, I love me an unhinged man. And my last book for my April wrap up would be Maybe for the Summer by Aubrey Penn. This book was almost a 5-star for me. The balance that she had between the love aspect and the spice, chef's kiss. She wrote this so good. It was moments that I was like, huh? But then you come back, you be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So like, the FMC and the MMC kind of ended up crossing paths because of the FMC's family's business. She never wanted to be a part of the business, but she ended up losing her job on the account of her assistant, and she had to go back home to kind of figure her life out. And she ended up going home, and her dad is like, well, I mean, you should have took over the family business anyway. Like, and so he sends her on a mission to help him out with the client. They go out of town. She find out that it's one of her like crushes from like a long time ago. Like not even a crush, but like her favorite artist. Let me say that. One of her favorite artists. She fell in love with her favorite artist. And the story was so up and down because it talked so much. And this is one thing that I like to pinpoint about this story was Aubrey Penn did a great job of writing about mental health. She talked a lot about dealing with your mental health and how to navigate that, with using the characters having substance abuse, and the way that she worked it, she wrote it so beautifully. If I would say, if you're gonna read this book, please read the trigger warnings, because if you feel like it'll be a lot for you to take that in, I think, hey, prioritize your mental health at every cost. But I feel like she wrote it so beautifully where the MMC really came out on top with a great love story and the love that he never thought he deserved. And it was just so beautiful. It was a beautiful story. Like, it was almost a 5-star for me. And it has a lot to do with the mental health and how we don't talk about it in our Black culture. It's not talked about a lot. It's not seen as something that's very important. And yeah, she wrote it beautifully. It was a beautiful story. At points I was just like, this just might not happen. But she definitely wrote it, and it warmed my heart, and it was a great story. So if you have not read Maybe for the Summer by Aubrey Penn, please do so. That's the story I would recommend. I'm like, yeah, you really should read this. Read the trigger warnings, but you definitely should read this. So yeah, that was my last book for my April wrap up. This video was so long and I was yapping. But if you have not read any of these books, they are a 4-star or higher, and I would recommend all of them. So yeah. And I forgot to tell you at the beginning, if you want to, which you do, like, comment, and subscribe. Tell your friends about this new book Booktube on YouTube. And I'm gonna see y'all in the next one. Bye.